All right, hello everyone. This is DayTraderRockStar, DayTradingRadio.com, for an educational video on the S&P cash and futures, and a little market update for going into Friday, June 25th. Now, over the last 4 days, this whole week was pretty much blood red. 4 days of just constant selling, pretty much in the markets. We had an interesting closing today, and I'm going to talk about what's going to happen tomorrow. But we'll take a look at the stochastics, how we turned over here, and we got into the daily overbought stochastics here. We pinned up into the 100 area, turned right over, along with the price actually pushing up against the 50-period moving average. So two of the main things I'm looking at. I'm looking at the stochastics. That momentum indicators tell me there's a shift in momentum. And that's a clear signal right there. That's a signal that the market's going to pull back. And we also knew that markets just don't go straight up. They stair step up or stair step down. So we moved up against the 50-period moving average, which was another great signal right there. So two big signals pointing for a move down. We've got 4 days down. Going into the 5th day of the week, do we make it 5 for 5? I don't think so. This is why. I'm going to go out on the 15-minute chart here. And you can see this past week we're pretty much traded in a downward channel, a very tight channel. Now you can't see it as well here on the 15-minute. You might say, well, yeah, I could see you connecting these 2 points. Definitely the upside channel line is established. Here it's not exactly sure where you can put this start of this channel line in, but a channel is a channel when you have 2 lines and 2 lines on top making a channel, and you could extend that. And the extension brings us back up to this area, and so it's really confirmed. And the downward trend line here is just a great trigger when it's going to be broken. The underlying trend line established by later on as these 2 points come in equal distance apart and making this nice channel. Now this 15-minute stochastics work good, and in a downtrending market like that, you wouldn't go long other than when you got your short-term oversold indicators lining up, and that would be the stochastics and the trend lines. These are your number 2, or at least my number 2 indicators I use when I'm going to trade. And this is the 60-minute chart. 60-minute we're not going to see as much in the daily, but now we're going to break this down to the 1-minute chart. And what I'm going to do this is use the Emini futures, the Emini futures. What I do during the day, here's a picture of the Emini futures at the close today. Let me see. Actually, that was around 2 o'clock, and then we ended up closing out right down here, right off a large trend. And I want to break this down. And each day I go. This is the main screen you'll see on the TV show, or actually the webcast show at the website. And tick for tick, just calling out what's happening in the market, what patterns are developing. And and I go back over it each night, trying to learn from different levels, seeing how momentum is picking up, see how the different indicators line up, and if there's anything else. So I just want to make that point as a very helpful tip to go back, and hopefully if you guys are ES traders, you go back to the beginning of the day, later in the day, and you run through what happened. And what I like to do here in this little thing, this is a pre-market. This is Thursday pre-market. I came in here, we had the jobs report, or I think it was the initial jobless claims. And we spiked up on that in pre-market. Then the market opened up. We started selling. So at this point, I'll just click it over here and I'll take a look. And during the week, I'm setting up during the day as the market's going. I'm placing these trend lines live, so you're actually seeing the trends and seeing the setups as they're happening. But now I like to go back and actually just take a look exactly what I was looking at back there, and not being in a stressful situation where there's a live market and you can't really absorb it. You're just spotting it and trading off of it. So here was a downward trend line break up. We retested that trend line and I moved back up. And then there was some good areas in the market today. There was actually here's another good example of it. This was a slanted inverted head and shoulders pattern, and the right shoulder, first we pushed up against the 200 here, short-term moving average, back up again. The 200 EMA on the 1-minute chart. We failed at putting that right shoulder. This is the left shoulder. These are called slanted head and shoulders, and these are better patterns than the traditional one. You just have to understand the concepts and have the timing up here. But any type of any type of upward trending line, you're gonna look for the breakdown for that real money trade. Same thing with the downward trend. You'll get the stair step action down, but the real big move is going to be coming from that one break when it finally does break. The same thing, the big move comes when you break down of an upward trend line. So I spot these earlier in the day, and you can see here's some other levels here. You're seeing the market starting to move up here, and let me see why this is. I'm pointing to this. Let's see what was this during the day. Oh yeah, I can see it right here. All right, this little dip here, the deviation from the 200, and then right here, there's a little, you can tell here, there's a little shoulder, there's a right shoulder, and the 200 period moving average here, whenever it crosses the line of like makes a resistance area, like it was. So you're seeing this little inverted head and shoulders pattern, what's giving you, and then once you get that break, and right here we're actually holding the right shoulder on the 20 period moving average, and even on the 1 minute chart that becomes an important average, especially on any type of breakout. So we got to break out of that trend line, and look at this. Lo and behold, we got to retest to that trend line. It comes right down, nails it, and then it's off to the races with the market. Now the market continue to move up here, and then all of a sudden we have this real deviation from the 200. That spike up. We got the spike downs, left shoulder, and right here, you start to notice the head and shoulders pattern. And again, same situation. The 200 period moving average crosses here, and it's really your neckline. As you can see that. It comes down here, shoulder bounces off. And once that breaks, boom, you got a nice follow through. And the market actually sold all the way off at the end of the day and got pretty bloody. Now, we bounced off. Let's see, where do we have? 1500. You see this yellow line that I put in here, and I want to show you what that little yellow line is in a second. But we pulled right down here to about 4 o'clock, 1600 hours. And almost off of this little support line here. And I wanted to stay off of that support line for a reason. All right. Now we're going to zoom all the way out. And after the market, we had good earnings reports on Oracle. Oracle lifted the market. Futures are up right now. Looks like they're up about $3 to $4. And the futures continue to move up. And even after hours, you could actually see some of the patterns starting to develop. The spike down, the right shoulder, left shoulder, and the move up off of that. But what I want to do is I want to zoom all the way out, and I want to go out, and now you can really see the established channel line that goes out. And this starts Sunday night when futures open up, 6 o'clock at night. The trend line goes back to that level, comes down, hits it, and a very great channel that we are in right now. Now, combined with the Oracle news tonight, or last night if you're hearing this tomorrow, which would be today, we are, and again, this type of channel, I'm going to look for that breakout to the upside. So we're going to have futures up here a little. We're in the midpoint of the channel now. I thought maybe we had a chance of pulling back and testing that if we closed near it, and that would have been my buy signal. Now we might just, not hesitate too much. If we do get a slight little pullback, I want to look for this to hold going into that 10 o'clock hour, and then the market to move up and away from out of this channel, so the upside move. So I think there's a good possibility of a nice breakout tomorrow of this channel. If we get this breakout, because it's significant of this channel, I expect a pretty decent size bounce in this market. So that's tomorrow. And again, I'll be tracking this trend line on the show. So when it happens, you'll actually see it happen. I'll describe it. You'll see it happen before it happens. And so come on by. Hope to see you in the markets. DayTradingRadio.com. I'll see you tomorrow.